I'm going to read a book called A Sick Day for Amos McGee. And it is written by Philip C. Stead and illustrated by Erin E. Stead. So see the shiny thing on this book? That shiny thing that's right up here is called a medal. It's the Caldecott Award. So the medal means it's won a prize. And the prize it won was for having really great pictures. So I think it's going to be a fun book to look at. I'm going to try hard to show you the pictures and read the story. So look at what's on the cover. I think it's also going to be kind of a funny book because it has an elephant and a penguin playing cards with a man. I bet that man's name might be Amos McGee. What do you think? So here we are on the title page. A Sick Day for Amos McGee. Have you ever had a sick day? A day when you didn't feel good and stayed maybe in bed all day? Oops, so there's Amos's bed, I think, and it says, Amos McGee was an early riser. Every morning when the alarm clock clanged, he swung his legs out of the bed and swapped his pajamas for a fresh pressed uniform. So maybe that's his uniform in the closet, the shoes and the sweater and the shirt. Look over in his bed. What do you see on his bed? He's a teddy bear. Oops, and there's his alarm clock. He would wind his watch and set a pot of water to boil, saying to the sugar bowl, "A spoonful for my oatmeal, please, and 2 for my teacup." So he is having oatmeal and tea for his breakfast. Anybody eat oatmeal for their breakfast? I just saw something funny in this page where it looks at his kitchen. He has a picture of a penguin on his wall. He must like penguins. So belly full and fully rested for the workday, he'd amble out the door. Do you know what the word amble means? It means the same thing as taking a walk, kind of slowly taking a walk. Every day, Amos waited for the number 5 bus. Next stop, City Zoo, the bus driver would call. 6 a.m. Right on time, he'd reply. So you see that Amos is standing at the bus stop looking at his watch, and here comes a bus. And what's the number on the bus? Right, the number 5 bus. Amos had a lot to do at the zoo, but he always made time to visit his good friends. So here we see Amos walking in the gate, and what it says at the top of the gate is City Zoo. Do you have a city zoo where you live? He would play chess with the elephant who thought and thought before making a move. Oh my goodness, look at that. He's playing chess with an elephant. And he'd run races with the tortoise, who never, ever lost. Does that tortoise look happy that he won the race? That's pretty funny because tortoises can move pretty slow. I wonder if Amos lets him win every time. Sit quietly with the penguin, who was very shy. Lend a handkerchief to the rhinoceros, who always had a runny nose. And at sunset, read stories to the owl. who was afraid of the dark. I think Amos must work at the zoo, and then he visits all his friends while he's working. Is that what you think? One day, Amos woke with the sniffles and sneezes and chills. He swung his achy legs out of bed, curled them back again, and said, "Ugh, I don't think I'll be going to work today." Here's Amos, not feeling very good. See, his nose is a little bit red that he's wiping his nose. Do you see his funny slippers under the bed? They look like bunny rabbits. Anybody have funny slippers that look like animals? And then what's Amos holding? He's holding a teddy bear. Do you have a favorite teddy bear or stuffed animal that you like to sleep with? Meanwhile, at the zoo, the animals waited for their friend. The elephant arranged his pawns and polished his castles. Those are the pieces that you use when you play chess. You can see them down there. The tortoise stretched his legs and limbered up. The penguin sat very patiently all by himself. The rhinoceros worried that his allergies were worsening. The owl perched on the top of a tall stack of storybooks, scratching his head with concern. Where's Amos? Wondered the animals. They look a little worried, don't they? Later that day, oh my goodness, what do we see? Who's walking out the gate of the city zoo? The elephant, the rhinoceros, the penguin, the owl, and the tortoise are leaving the zoo. Where do you think they're going? To the bus stop. Did anybody guess the bus stop? There they are. What are they waiting for? I think you're right. I think they might be waiting for the bus. Oh my goodness, what number bus are they on? They're on the number 5 bus, because that's the one that goes from Amos's house to the zoo and from the zoo to Amos's house. That's so funny. An elephant and a rhinoceros and a turtle and an owl and a penguin on the bus. That would be very funny to see that. Hooray! My good friends are here. Oh, look at Amos. Look at that smile. He's happy to see his friends. They all came to visit him because he was having a sick day. Now what do we think will happen? The elephant prepared a game of chess. Amos thought and thought before making a move. I'm too tired to run races today, said Amos to the tortoise. Let's play hide and seek instead. The tortoise hid inside his shell. Amos hid beneath the covers. Amos yawned. I could use a nap. The penguin sat quietly, keeping Amos's feet warm. Oh, let me show you that. Look at his little feet sticking out of the covers, and the penguin's keeping them warm. Achoo! Amos woke with a sneeze, and the rhinoceros was there with a handkerchief. See the handkerchief that the rhinoceros is giving Amos? Whoops. I'm beginning to feel much better, thank you, said Amos to his friends. He swung his legs out of the bed. Perhaps we'll share a pot of tea. So now we can see the kitchen and the stove and the owl's making a pot of, pouring a cup of tea. Oh, that's funny. The tortoise has the sugar bowl and a teacup on a shell. And look at who's sitting at the table on the little tiny chairs because they're so big. The elephant and the rhinoceros. And they're all holding cups of tea. They're sharing a pot of tea. Amos wound his alarm clock. It's getting late, he said. After all, we have a morning bus to catch. So Amos said good night to the elephant, and good night to the tortoise, and good night to the penguin, and good night to the rhinoceros, and good night to the owl, who, knowing that Amos was afraid of the dark, read a story aloud before turning out the light. That's nice. A bedtime story for Amos who doesn't feel very good. There's all his friends listening to the bedtime story. And then look at them. Everyone's cozy and asleep. The end.